The Everything PT podcast is sponsored by VALD Performance. VALD is the creator of the airbands for blood flow restriction therapy. If you are looking to stay up to date with today's post-surgical modalities and adding VFR to your clinic, please visit valdperformance.com.
This podcast is sponsored by CSMI, the maker of the HUMAC Norm isokinetic system. Purchase a new or refurbished machine, or you can even upgrade an existing system to bring it up to date with all the latest testing and training applications. Please visit csmisolutions.com to view all of their available products, including the HUMAC Norm isokinetic system, the HUMAC Balance portable computerized balance system, and Sportswear Online. CSMI, better data leads to better results.
Hello, and welcome to the Everything PT podcast with Matt Taylor and Daniel Bodkin. Please do not consider anything you hear to be medical advice. Just a couple of guys ranting about everything PT. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Everything PT podcast. This is episode, 18, Daniel? Is that right?
Yeah, I think 18.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. We're almost getting to 20 here.
Yeah, getting close. Only 40 something to go.
Yeah. If we can get past a year, I think we'll be good with the sponsors and stuff.
Absolutely. And then we'll see where it goes after that. At some point, we're gonna have to start, like doing rewatch of, sitcoms or do movie reviews or something like that.
Very true. I think we keep really having really cool guests on. I think that will help though.
Yeah, I agree. I've asked most people who I've chatted with to come on. So
yeah. So we do have a guest today. We have Miss Laura Opstedal. Did I say that right, Laura?
Close. Opstedal.
So close. I haven't practiced. But Laura, we're really glad that you could join us. Why don't you take a few minutes and just tell us a little bit about yourself and what exactly you do, please?
Well, I own a practice in Bozeman, Montana. Been a PT for about 21 years. Decided kind of later in my career to open up my own practice for a number of different reasons, but really wanted to specialize in ACL rehab and isokinetic testing and some performance type rehab. And so made the big jump and opened my clinic, designed it how I wanted. And it's been a steep learning curve. Let's just say.
I believe it. It.
Laura, tell me what kind of sets your clinic apart from the standard clinic?
We're more of a gym atmosphere. So you walk in and there's like a small waiting area, but I have all of the same equipment a gym would have, plus an isokinetic machine and some force plates, and we have some turf. And I think around here, no one else has an isokinetic machine. Most clinics are sort of like the standard, bad art on the wall and, doctor's office looking, but, we have a lot of walk-ins off the street and they always think that we're a gym, but it's a PT clinic.
Very cool. You have a lot of similarities to a Matthews clinic there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm considering the art that's hanging on our wall currently. So seeing if it's bad or not.
Look, if you don't know Matt, did you get somebody to like mural that? Is it spray paint on your back wall?
Believe it or not, it's a giant sticker. It's like a vinyl sticker. It's the coolest thing.
Wow.
It's got our symbol and it's got like all the therapy buzzwords like limb symmetry, quad index, blood flow restriction, isokinetics, and it's like they're just in the background. It looks like a wall exploding. It's
literally the entire wall.
Yeah. So I saw that on a social media post somewhere, and then I just got obsessed with like figuring out where it was and reached out to them, and it's on our wall now. So it's exciting. I love it though. But yeah, so Laura, like that's what I want to do. And you and I have some similarities because I'm in rural West Virginia. Grant, you're in Bozeman, right? Which I'm sure has a lot more patience than our people than it does in Charleston. But what's it been like trying to grow your very specific ACL niche practice in Bozeman, Montana?
Well, I had the opportunity, when I first moved here, I worked at a physician-owned clinic, and I worked with some great surgeons for about 7 or 8 years. And, I always liked rehabbing ACLs before, but I had access to as many as I wanted. And so I can kind of, specialize a little bit and, fortunately maintain those relationships when I went out on my own. So it's kind of easy. The patients were already there. And the great thing about this community is people are pretty savvy. They're pretty picky on who they see. And so word of mouth goes a long way. And, they just, one ACL patient refers the other. Plus we're a ski town. So if you haven't torn your ACL in Bozeman, you are probably, the minority.
Yeah. It's what, Big Sky? Is that the one out there?
Bridger Bowl and then Big Sky.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got a family friend that is a ski instructor at Big Sky, and it's got the most incredible pictures ever. So
yeah, that's
pretty awesome. And I asked that question, another follow-up question. I actually asked that same question, how to market isokinetics and ACL at CSM. I don't know. I was towards the end there, one of those nerdy guys waiting to ask a question, Yeah. But I had a chance to see you speak at CSM with, I think it was Derek Miles and Dan Lorenz, I believe.
And Rob Panarello. Yeah.
Yes. That's right. Cool.
So to your question, how have you marketed, or how are you marketing the fact that you have isokinetics, or even any of the other pieces of equipment that are specialized in your clinic? How do you approach it?
I don't. I suck at marketing. I'm lost when it comes to that stuff. On our Instagram site or Instagram page, we post test results, not to get super specific on people's medical information, but we celebrate, our monthly testing when people improve. It's a big deal. And so we'll post it on Instagram. And I think for the general population, they don't know what it is, or I'm not even sure they really care. So it's really hard to explain to a non-PT and sometimes even surgeons why they're so important. So I guess it's indirect, hopefully my patients are out in the community and telling people, I've got, my torque to body weight ratio is over 100 already. And I'm, whatever symmetric, and people may ask more questions like, what does that mean? And, oh, well, I get tested every month. I know exactly where I'm at. I can't run until blah, blah, blah. So hopefully it's an indirect measure, but I don't know how to market it, to be honest with you. And I don't know what I told you at CSM. I probably made something up.
No, you answered, and I think everyone gave me a little bit, but instead of going to the surgeons, a lot of the panel seemed to recommend going to the people and just having really good outcomes, giving really good physical therapy, and word of mouth is super strong, like you were saying.
Yeah. People get pretty pumped up on testing day. We blast, whatever their pump up song is. And
that's a good idea.
Celebrating wins every month. It's a long process to rehab these things, and we like to have fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. And like you said, it's kind of like, you're not just promoting the one machine, you're kind of promoting your outcomes and the fact that you're different. The patient's not going to go to one of their friends who just had an injury and say, oh, they have an isokinetic machine. They might talk about, all the different equipment that you have, but it's really the outcome that you're selling.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not sure I could practice without one anymore. It's just, I like to know where we're at. I like to know, whatever intervention or program we had the prior month actually did something. It's more of a tool for me to, and I tell people this all the time, transparency and how much I suck. Right.
I like that.
It's the truth. Yes.
For me,
No.
I didn't realize how much we rely on it until like it was having a we were having a power issue one day and we were without it. And then I wanted to test and exercise on it. And then I realized like, oh, okay, like it's be really beneficial to know. And just realizing before the isokinetic machine and afterwards, it really is, it's a heck of a tool in the clinic.
Mhm.
Yeah. When I was with John Hisamoto down in Tampa, we had an old Kincom and we had a Cybex, which is now the Humac. And so I got so used, I mean, I was a student for 4 years before I even practiced as a PT. So I got so used to having that as one of the mainstays of my, my regimen. And then when I moved to Nashville, I didn't have a machine. Luckily, about 6 months later, we got a machine that was about an hour away. So, I would get the patients who would benefit from it and we'd have them go, every other week. So it was really hard learning how to practice without something.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we're making best guesses all day long unless, we're actually measuring stuff. So I don't know if I could go backwards.
No,
absolutely. One thing when people ask me, how can you market the machine, or even how you can make money off the machine? I don't know if you do the pre-employment screens. There's companies out there that, they're looking for an isokinetic test. That's a real easy one that you can get linked up with. What we used to do, John knew everybody in Tampa. So we would get any of the new athletic trainers, any of the new surgeons at the university, we would actually bring them in. He'd always, get pizza, some other kind of food, but John's a big pizza guy. So we'd have dinner with them in the clinic and actually get them on the machines, not just so they could feel what the tests are like, but so that we can show them all the different applications the machines have. And she can tell somebody about it until you're blue in the face, but until you actually feel what it feels like on all those different modes, it's completely different. So that was one of the ways that he really engaged with the local surgeons.
Yeah, we I just hosted the GA's athletic trainers from Montana State, so they got to test out the machine and learn about it. And I do a lot of, I guess you could call it pre-employment screening. Incoming freshmen will do some tests, kind of depending on the situation. But I really like working with the training staff at Montana State. They're all great and realize, it's an important piece of equipment and helps them make decisions too.
Looking for a way to improve sport-specific training with your athletes? Then you have to check out BlazePods. BlazePods is a neurocognitive reaction training intervention that can be incorporated into your sessions for patients throughout the treatment spectrum. Visit blazepod.com, enter code EVERYTHINGPT at checkout and save 15% off your order today. Hey all you rehab specialists out there, do you have an isokinetic dynamometer just sitting around your clinic not being used? Little known fact, isokinetic machines that aren't used regularly are at higher risk for bouts of sadness. Help your machine out and take CSMI's newest CEU course, Isokinetics 101 online, created by me, Daniel Bodkin, and learn how to use all the exercise and testing applications available on your machine. With new and exciting rehab techniques in your toolbox, your sad isokinetic machine can become an active member of the rehab team again and regain its happiness. Isokinetics 101 online by CSMI has been approved for 8 credit hours for athletic trainers, physical therapists, and physical therapy assistants. Contact your state board for details on specific requirements. This course is available at humacnorm.com/courses/isokinetics-101.
Laura, I heard that you tore your own ACL.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me about what that was like going through it from your perspective and what you learned from it.
Well, I was 41 when I tore it, and I was still working with a group of surgeons. I tore it skiing and texted him on the way home from the mountain because I was like pissed. Like, how did I get 41 years into my life? And this is what I do all day long. I rehab ACLs and then I tore my own. Just sucked. And I guess, during the rehab, I chose to do quad tendon graft because they were relatively new, at least for us around here. And honestly, it was out of curiosity. So like, you're over 40 and allograft was recommended, but I'm like, I want the quad tendon. I want to figure this out.
Nice.
So I did it. And, I think the biggest take home from all of it is it takes a lot of time to rehab these, and not everybody has that amount of time, to be completely honest. I mean, I have 4 kids, and I run a business. At the time I wasn't running a business, but 4 kids. I've had a couple people come in for pre-op appointments and recommended that, maybe going a different route, like an allograft, if they're deciding between, if they're my age and they're deciding between an autograft and an allograft, because it took a lot longer than I had anticipated to get my symmetry back in my quads. And the other pitfall for me was doing my own rehab. Sales, man. I just think that's a bad idea. I realized how lazy I am. Let's just say that.
Sure.
I think somebody else needs to be in charge of a PT's own rehab. So.
Hey, Tiger Woods has a coach,
Yeah.
for a good reason. Yeah. No doubt. So
interesting. I never would have thought about that aspect of having somebody else running the show for you.
Oh, yeah. And I don't think it's just me. I think I have a friend that I'm rehabbing her ACL too, and she's also a PT, and it's time to just be a patient and turn the mind off and let somebody else tell you what to do. I'm really not that disciplined, honestly, to do that.
Until someone tells you to do a long arc quad right out of the gate, in rehab. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. Yeah. So Laura, you have a very interesting nickname here. The Khaki Free Sports PT, very catchy. So can you tell me a little bit about where that came from?
Kind of a joke. The stereotypical outfit of the PT is khakis, polos, running shoes, and it drives me crazy. I like clothes and shopping, and have worked at a few different places that was sort of like the uniform, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Mm-hmm. But I think it has more of a deeper meaning, like, it's the stereotypical PT thing, right? And I feel like on a deeper level, to all, we should be viewed more as autonomous providers and not these technicians that, run through whatever the doctor says we need to do with their patients. So that's sort of the deeper message behind it, but it really just started out as a joke.
No, look, I agree with you there. Again, I had John as my mentor, so I dressed like him, nice button down slacks, try to elevate it a little bit. And it's funny, even when I go to install isokinetic machines, that's how I show up. As I feel, again, you just feel different when you're, just one, tailor it to how you like to dress. Mm-hmm. And, you can elevate it. Now, ideally, they say dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. They have problems when you show up to the office dressed like Darth Vader trying to choke people with the Force. But, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I wear jeans a lot. I mean, I'm in Montana. That's sure. But it's my business. Like, mm-hmm. My boss can, suck it. I don't know. I'm just
she wanted to say that. Wasn't sure.
I'm not going to show up to work and look like a slob, but I do tend to see a younger population. And it was funny this morning, I had heard from the younger girls that skinny jeans are no longer, a thing. Only moms wear skinny jeans. So it's like flip-flopped. The younger girls are wearing the mom jeans. The moms are wearing the skinny jeans. And it was this whole tangent of a conversation. Mm-hmm. And she complimented that I look cute every day. So that's all I need to hear.
Look, you have to wear it 8 to 10 hours a day, every day of the week. So you might as well be comfortable in what you're wearing and how you want to present yourself.
Yeah. I just dress like I dress every day.
Yeah. So for me, like we have a little track jacket that we have with our names on it, or a company t-shirt underneath, and I have sweatpants on under here. So it's very comfortable. I'm loading, unloading weights, helping patients stretch and all day long. So I just feel comfortable in that, I remember, Daniel, and I used to take more of the business casual approach, and it was just, I always felt like it was kind of restricting, and I ripped a pair of khakis, if you like to do leg workout. If you do leg workouts, you're going to rip some khakis now and then, so.
That's the thing too, like depending on your environment. I mean, we're bending over and picking plates up and bars up and all that stuff. Yeah. So like me putting on a nice pair of shoes is just not going to fly. Although I do wear Birkenstocks and I have dropped a plate on my foot. So there's that part.
All right, Laura, we noticed that you've done some research kind of revolving around the hip. Can you tell us a little bit about the research that you've done and any future topics that you're looking to get into?
Don't get too excited. I sat on a couple of research committees through Montana State, so a couple of master's degrees in biomechanics. So I wasn't really that closely involved with, if you're talking about the PAO paper, that was actually one of my patients, and she did a case study on herself. And so I sat on her committee for that and provided some ideas, and I think we were looking at joint distribution and walking after PAOs, just with the changes in the orientation of the hip and stuff. As far as other research goes, nothing, I'm doing subject recruitment for a researcher at MSU with some ACL patients, looking at some dual tasking stuff, but I think it would be great. I would love to be involved in research. I just don't think I really have the bandwidth, the time for it.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I don't like the work.
Oh yeah. Having your own business, having the family, it doesn't leave a lot of time for those other things.
No, but I have ideas and I like to give people ideas.
Yeah,
sure. Laura,
is there anything that you've seen come through the last few years that you're excited about or would like to see, or anything that's went away that you'd love to see kind of come back again?
Definitely therapeutic ultrasound. Total joke.
I was
like you weren't getting my sarcasm.
I was thinking about how I was going to answer.
Laura, we gotta go, Laura.
Like, oh my God, she is an ultrasound.
I was like, I can't wait to hear her explanation for this. That was awesome.
I don't know. What makes me excited? Oh, well, I think a lot of the younger PTs, I'm super excited about how they view, what we should, the appearance of a clinic or what we're doing in the clinic. Everybody's a lot more hands-off and more active, exercise-based, and I think that's pretty cool. And the whole meshing performance with rehab is great. So I think the direction of our profession is probably going to change a little bit for the better, is my hope and bias. But so many great newer grads. It's awesome.
That's a major amount of confirmation bias for me. Love to hear that. We have lots of, lifting racks. We have dumbbells. We have specialty bars and lifting platforms, 100-pound dumbbells. We've actually had, some serious bodybuilders and powerlifters use them, for therapy purposes. But I saw that you have a USA weightlifting certification. That's pretty cool. You don't see that every day. Does that tie into your rehab, like with some Olympic lifts, like for the snatch, clean and jerk, things of that nature?
Yeah, we'll break down and do some derivatives, with our post-op ACLs. I think it's a great way to work on rate of force development. So I felt like I really struggled teaching it. So I went through the USA weightlifting, which I would highly recommend to learn how to coach those things better. Okay. And that, I decided to go ahead and do level 2 too. And they were great. I think for people that are thinking about doing like a CSCS, I think what they're really looking for is those lifts. At least I did when I took the CSCS years ago. USA weightlifting, this is my bias. I think that's a much better route to really understand how to break down and coach the lifts. And it's been a really good complement to mid and late stage rehab.
Sure. This for someone that's done I have the CSCS and gone through it and tested, and I think 40 to 50% is nutrition based.
I know, right?
Too. Yeah, which is a lot. I was very surprised about that.
Like, I want to do performance training, and I don't like drink a protein shake. I don't know. No, I'm with you. I took it many, many years ago, and it was just like, I think what people are looking for is how to program and how to teach lifts.
Mm-hmm. That would do our field a world of good, I think, if all the PTs had a refresher in that, for sure.
The other thing is, if you work with college athletes or pro athletes, I mean, this is what they're doing, as part of their practice. So you need to understand what that looks like, and maybe there's a fault in their lift. I don't know, but I wish I would have done it years ago, to be honest.
Ooh, that's interesting to me. I'm trying to talk Daniel into the CSCS, but Daniel, you might just go for the USA weightlifting cert.
No question. Yeah, level 1 was, not as fun as level 2, but because of the pandemic, it's been offered virtually online, so it makes it easier because they're expensive. So you don't have to travel to Colorado or where they usually have them.
Ooh. That would kind of be fun to travel out there to Colorado. Is an awesome place.
It's a weird course to have virtually because, you're learning lifts, but a lot of it is you're watching videos and picking out faults in the lifts and how to coach it better. So, yeah, it was so worth the money, in my opinion.
Cool. Daniel, I'm filibustering over here. I'm sorry. But with the Olympic lifts, do you find that it can be hard to coach a lot of technique in a short amount of time? I find that I almost go back to the basic power movements of deadlift and traditional barbell squats. And I've taught the snatch, I've taught the clean and the jerk and hang clean. And it just seems like people have a hard time grasping that quickly. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I think I thought it would be easier, but
sure.
I think especially with the younger kids, they come in and, they were sort of taught by the strength coach at the high school or a coach at the high school, and they don't really understand what it's for. They sort of just mimic the movement and muscle the bar up. And that's not why you're doing that lift. So breaking it down so they understand the purpose of the lift and fine-tuning the technique a little bit is, I did that this morning. Somebody wanted to learn a clean, so that's what we did. But yeah, I have a long ways to go to be a good coach for it. That's for sure. But I'm only going to get better if I do it.
Yeah, for sure. Dan, you have any other questions for Laura here?
Just, where can people find you? How can somebody get a hold of you if they're interested in what we've been talking about today?
I used to be pretty active on Twitter, not so much anymore, but my handle on Twitter is at Laura Opstedal. Instagram, our handle is at build.physio. You can email me, laura@buildphysio.com. And I don't do Facebook. Email is probably the best. Not going to give my phone number out. But
please don't, Laura.
Yeah, DMs. I always try to answer those. And
awesome. Yeah. Well, Laura, thank you for coming on and spending some time with us here. And you guys know where to contact her. But I think that's everything for us. You have anything else to add, Daniel?
Oh, no, that's it. I have to go take off. I'm going to the NATA convention this afternoon.
Sweet.
I'm going to go sit at the CSMI booth and play around with kinetics for a couple of days.
Go sling some isokinetic machines, bro.
Just test Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If anybody knows Rob from CSMI, he doesn't do anything halfway.
Oh, I have a video of him. When I bought my machine and he came out and set it up, we tested him. It's hilarious.
So there's a seatbelt on these things. And, most of the time you never put the seatbelt on your patients. But Rob, when he gets on the thing, he literally he leans forward and he'll throw himself back aggressively, and just scream as loud as he can.
Yeah.
There is no doubt that he is giving 100% of his effort on every single rep.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
So I'll challenge him. We'll see who can get a higher, body weight, torque to body weight ratio, and we'll see who comes out on top there.
He's pretty yoked. I don't know if I would challenge him.
Yeah, so and I have to find out from him today, but he's actually ranked pretty high worldwide in the CrossFit game. So he's a specimen, let's say that.
Very impressive for sure. But Laura, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch everyone next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.